Well, here we are then, guys, for a brand new league racing season. First and foremost, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the regular scheduled content, and today we're here for PSGL Round 1 on PC. We are in second split, and this is Round 1 at Portimao for the Portuguese Grand Prix. So, hopefully you're excited. If you are, leave a like, subscribe, as we're going to be putting out loads of league racing content over the next few months, and I'm very, very excited. Now, for this brand new season, Season 30 of PSGL, here we have the calendar on screen. Portugal, Silverstone, Monaco, Round 3, France, Hungary, Austria, Saudi Arabia, which of course is a strong track for me, and this year we're doing it in PSGL. Belgium, Netherlands, Brazil, Mexico, and then Singapore, another street circuit, very, very interesting, and then United States, which is probably my worst track of the entire season, and then Italy, and the season finale in Bahrain. So a pretty decent calendar, quite a few street circuits with Monaco, Hungary, Singapore, and also tracks like Zandvoort, which is quite hard to overtake at. So we'll see what happens, but it's going to be quite exciting. Now, as for the grid, we've got a pretty stacked F2 grid. Split 1 F1 is pretty much made up of the entirety of F1 esports, so F2 is the best we're going to get. And you can see the grid on screen. There's a lot of big names in here. Sam McBride, for example, known as Smasher. We've also got Jonas Martins, last season known as Neon as well. Chana Kinchi, Luke Smith, Anton Desaluski, Thomas Ronhaar, massive Xbox name. Joost Noordijk as well, massive PS4 name. And I think those two especially are going to be the ones to watch out for. Thomas Ronhaar and Joost Noordijk making the switch to PC. And then our teammate, of course, Super Sam Corbey, as we're going to be driving in the Red Bull this season. So there's your grid. Hopefully you like it. It's very exciting. A lot of strong names and big drivers here. Future F1 esports drivers as well. So yeah, we're going to jump into business and we're going to jump into qualifying. Now, Portimao, I can't lie, this wasn't the best timing for me. At the time of this race, I had COVID, and I'd had COVID the few days before that, and I wasn't able to practice as much as I would have liked, because especially there was a 48-hour period where I just, had no energy. So, yeah, practice was hampered a little bit, but still we're going to try and push on. Currently on the mediums in our first lap in qualifying here across the line. Saving up ERS, man. Fucking hell, run out. Decent lap. That's kind of what I do, 16.5 on medium. And yeah, we pretty much match our PB, 16.5, and that was with a bit of an ERS issue at the end of the lap, running out of battery. We then switched to the soft tyres for our second run, and I'm only 2.5, 3 tenths up, which is not what I had in mind. We're aiming for like a 15.8, 15.7 in qualifying. I had a very scruffy lap, just too many mistakes, and I actually decided to abandon the lap because we're tight for time as it is, and I'd rather go again. And right at the last minute, you can see we peel off to the right and give up on that lap. So yeah, so we're going to come down to this then. Our final lap in qualifying, soft tyres on, we're going to give it everything, and we're going to see what we can do. So starting the lap then, DRS wide open across the start finish, making our way down towards turns 1, 2 and 3. Very tricky sequence. Turn 1, you have to get absolutely spot on, as we have a bit of a moment though, unfortunately, having some oversteer, and that sets us a little bit offline for turn 3. Trying to recover time though through turn 4, we have another moment, all over the place, and I'm struggling with the back end, no overheating, just struggling with rear end, as we do a 21.8, which is very, very poor. Not bad considering they're two massive oversteer moments, but in the grand scheme of things, we've dropped about 2 tenths in that first sector already. Making our way into the second sector though, we're going to try and push on here and maybe aim for like P11 or something, as we have to go past. Our teammate for this race is Iker Baena. Sam Corbey isn't here for this one, so we've got a reserve driver stepping in for us. In towards the end of the second sector, we managed to actually nail this middle sector quite nicely and recover some time. Currently though on a 51.3, it's pretty poor. My PB is a 51.0 through that second split, so we're a long way off the pace. Into the final couple of corners though, trying to maximise everything and recover lap time after that dodgy first sector. Making our way into the final corner, keeping it super tight here as we make our way up to the line. It's going to be about 0.6 of a second of an improvement. Across the start finish we go. I mean, it's a decent second and third sector, but the first sector was so bad. It's just the first sector's 2 tenths off what it needs to be. And yeah, you can hear me say there, the first sector really was the big issue. It was 2 tenths off what it needed to be. Having said that, even with a perfect first sector, I don't think anything more than P10 would have been possible. So yeah, with that said, I'm not too disappointed with P14. Obviously, I wanted P11, and I think I could have achieved that, to be fair, but it is what it is. P14 for us. We're going to start on the Ultra and see what happens. Thomas Ronha on pole here this race, looking very, very dominant. Simon Perini P2, Pedreño P3 ahead of Joost Noordijk. Jack West as well, big name from Xbox, who I forgot to mention, also made the step up this year into PSGL PC F2. Sam McBride, aka Smasher P6 ahead of Luke Smith, Jona Martins, Via Camper, Dom Meyer, and then Jack Laverty, Norbert Jacob, my teammate in this race, Iker Baena, and myself in P14. So there's your grid. Let's move into the race. Now then, before we jump into the action, first of all, we're going to look at the strategy for this one. Now, no rain forecast, a little bit of overcast weather towards the end, but no rain crucially. Strategy-wise, it's going to be the alt strat. Now, this isn't the favoured strategy, really. The fastest strategy here is the soft medium, but I'm far enough down the order P14 where I feel like I have to try something different. If I was P11 or P12, I'd go for a set of softs, but, you know, P14, I feel confident in my race pace, to be honest, and I feel like I can make the alt strat work. This is F2, it's not F1, it's not top split, so the pace should be a bit closer in this one. So here we go, 5 laps are on for the season opener in PSGL, and we're underway. We get a great start off the line. Oh no, I don't like Jack Laverty. Now into turn 1, you can see Jack Laverty is starting to screen freeze, and this could be a problem for us later on in the race, but so far, not a bad start. We've not lost anything. Into turn 3, we have to be careful. Big contact there as a throw goes backwards, side by side here with our teammate who pushes us and runs us off the track on the exit. And now down towards turn number 5, we're going to try and fly back here right the outside of Baena here on the brakes, going the long way around again, getting forced off the track by our teammate. And we're now going to make our way into the second sector, and I'm going to commit here and return the favour, making a move up the inside into one of the trickiest corners on the track here, up the inside. Run me out of road twice and then turning on me. Well, anyway, it's a fucking great start. Let's go. And yeah, we make a great start. We get past in the end up to P11. And now we've got this issue to deal with. And yeah, now we've got this issue with Jack Laverty, who's just screen freezing basically and having some internet issues, and it's causing a load of struggles to me personally to judge where he really is. The worst thing is as well is that he's the first of the medium runners. And exactly that. He's the first of the medium runners. Now, this is not ideal because I want to be ahead of Jack and be on the back of that soft train, you know, of all the cars ahead of us, but I can't pass Jack. We're going to have this issue pretty much throughout the entire first stint because he's lagging and screen freezing and disappearing. I can't fully judge where he is, so I don't have the confidence to really get close. We're going to have to wait to see if the situation stabilizes a little bit and the internet situation improves so that I can pass him in a safer situation. You can see here it's quite bad in this spot. That was a bad one, that was. Any more, I would have had to have got out of that. And yeah, it's overall a bad thing for me. And it's just unacceptable, basically. It's just really, really hard for me to judge it and make my mind up. So for now, we're going to try and keep some social distance and just stay within DRS, but make sure, you know, we don't make any mistakes and lose DRS. As right now, we're looking pretty decent. So far, after 8 laps, the soft runners haven't really pulled away. So we are in this race as Jack has some more issues there, you can see, as we get a yellow flag.
Okay, clear.
And someone ahead of us, I think it might have been Joost Noordijk, I think spun on the infield or something. He disappeared, but we've gained a place and we're now in the top 10 and into the points. So Joost making a mistake and we're now 1 place up from where we were. Okay, this is going to be a good race. The pack hasn't broken away. At this point, the softs have done their best laps. So yeah, there we go, look at that. Right, now we're going to see some action. Let's go. Right, let's try and knuckle down here. Now, action happening. Soft tyre runners are in, and the race is going to start to open up as we get a first crack at Jack. Laverty's got good pace, so I'm in no rush to pass him, especially with the desync issues. Let's see what he can do. Now, again, we're going to be careful, but it does seem like now, lap 14, for the last 3 laps now, Jack has seemingly stabilised. Next to his name, you can see there's no internet, bars or any X's next to his name. He seems stable, and dare I say, safe to overtake. So we're going to try and go for it here. Fuck those 2 corners up. Made a big mistake though through there, just got those two corners messed up quite badly. But here we go then, we're going to use a bit of the ERS and try to make a move here on Jack on the pit straight. Oh, you little bitch, you want to go for it? And you hear me say there, Baena trying to make a move here, so we have to respond. And we're going to go for this move then into turn 1 with the DRS. We get a hit in the rear, which sends me off the track of turn 1.
Green flag. Cheers for the hit in the rear.
And yeah, I don't know what my teammate Baena's doing this race. I mean, I know he's not really my teammate; he's just a reserve. But between the lap one, forcing me off twice, and then hitting me in the rear right there, I just don't know what he's playing at. Either way, not ideal. Down towards the hairpin though. Crucially, we're now in P1. All the soft runners have done their stops, and we've got some clean air. Not that it's faster.
Let's see what pace I have. Out of battery. This is not what I had in mind. It's not ideal. Just gonna know I'm out of battery now.
But yeah, pretty much we've drained our ERS. We're out of battery as I try to stay ahead.
You can't save around here either.
Now, ERS recharge is impossible. Once you use the battery, it's not coming back unless you pit. So, yeah, at this stage of the race, really, I'm trying to push, but the pace isn't really there, I'll be honest. Baena here is going to try and go for the move. As we do cover the inside, he still commits and pretty much does a block pass on me, so we have to steer out of the corner. Fair move, but, not the most ideal as we lose a load of time. Jack Laff trying to fight back, but we stay ahead. But now Baena takes the lead in this race for now on the alt strat. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to get back past, as he's going to pit on lap 19, which was my scheduled pit stop lap, and take the pit box. So we're going to have to stay out for one more lap and lose a bit more race time.
Going to lose time, but oh well, it is what it is.
So yeah, at this stage, I would say, Baena costing me a load of time, and he's not even my real teammate, so this is not really ideal. But lap 20, we're going to pit and get our stop out of the way. We're going to box for the soft tyre and see what happens. The end lap was actually pretty decent, to be fair, and I know that Baena was battling on his out lap with some other guys around, so we could actually still be in the mix here. It's going to be close. It has to be perfect, but yeah, overall, the first stint was fine. The only thing I'd say that was an issue was the soft runners pitting a bit too early.
It's going to be one of them ones where I might be ahead into turn one, but because of the nature of the corner, I'm going to lose out on the exit. Watch.
Now, watch this space as you just heard what I just said. It's a turn one though. Baena's ahead. So is Will Lewis, who's undercast. Meanwhile, Jack Lavitier and Jordan Poland as well behind us as we go to turn the 3. We have contact as Jordan, I believe, outbroke himself there, hitting me in the side. Luckily, we stay ahead of both Jack and Jordan. But you can see here they're battling really heavily as we race down towards turn number 5. I'm going to have to just take a defensive line and make sure I stay ahead. And now we need to push after Will.
Calm down here, fellas.
We need to push on. We cannot lose DRS, and the gap's over a second. So this middle sector is going to be crucial for us as we try to close in on Will Lewis and also, of course, Iker Baena in this race.
Can't lose the RS here. Very important I stay close, but I don't want to use my RS.
So yeah, we survived the assault into turn number 3 on the pit exit, and we can now get back in the race. You can see here we have a lovely second sector and start off the third sector in a very strong way as we get the gap down to about 7/10 actually heading into this slow hairpin. So job done. We're in DRS range and we've got back in the train. At this stage, you can see Lewis has 3 seconds and also Baena has 11 seconds. So, at this stage, she's out of the race in terms of, because of the penalties. So, we're going to try and go for the move here on Will and make a bit of pressure.
Thank you, Twitty, for the sub, man. And she's for the 21 months.
But you can see Will there, he's light flashing out of ERS. We're running pretty low ourselves, to be fair. But into turn 1, Will has a moment. That's going to put us on the back of him. We go for a bit of a dummy, and that just forces Will offline slightly. And we're going to take the move up the inside and then go the long way around as Will leaves racing room. And a nice clean move there and good racing as we move up into P10 and back into the points. Up next, it's going to be Baena and also Jonah Mertens, who was in the lead pack, but I believe had an incident, got dropped out of the DRS train, and he's been dropping back ever since. So, we've got a chance here to get P8 in this race. As
you're telling me you can't even pass the Alfa Romeo? Fucking hell. This guy's so selfish, he's going to ruin everyone else's races just so that he can save some ERS.
And yeah, I was getting frustrated because Baena wasn't passing Jonah, and I thought he was trying to save battery. Eventually, he did pass him, and now we need to try and pass Jonah Mertens, of course, formerly known last year as WOR and Neon. So yeah, we're going to try and look for a move here. I thought about it into the hairpin in turn 5, but I could see Jonah was using ERS, and I wasn't quite close enough for the move there. So a bit of a rehearsal for a future overtake as we make our way onto lap 29 now. We're going to try again. Into turn 1, we're getting close. I'm trying to not use the very last bit of the battery if I can avoid it. Not quite close enough here though. We have a bit of movement through turn 2 as well. Into 3, Jonah locks up a little bit. We're going to try and get the wide line as we set up the exit. At this stage, tyre performance is starting to level out between the mediums and the softs. But here we go. We're much closer this time. And I'm actually going to try and commit to the dive bomb up the inside. We do lock up a little bit. We just about get it slowed down. We leave just about enough racing room on the outside
for Yona to keep a tyre on the track, and we make the move and move up into P9. And unfortunately, Yona got a penalty in the process during that overtake, which he got removed. So right now, Yona doesn't have a penalty, just like myself. Meanwhile, Baena on 14 seconds worth of penalties. So yeah, we're going to go for the move here. We're not going to waste any time. At lap 31, we're going to try and get that P8 locked down, and then try and chase after the medium runners. Although to be fair, at this point, the softs have pretty much gone, and the gap is too much to recover. Here we go though, on Baena. Nice easy move with the DRS, and we make the move before turn 1 and jump into P8. So that's done. We've done the best we can realistically in the alt strat. Overall, we lost too much time in different areas, but we've done what we can. Baena's going to try and fly back here, which I could not believe, considering he's got 14 seconds of penalties here into turn 5. Why the fuck is he trying to dive bomb me? You've got nothing to race for, bruv. What are you doing? Just let me go. Not even teammates, but let me go. Aero reserve with 15 seconds of penalties. And yeah, pretty much, that was the story of the race, really. I just think we lost too much time battling.
Thank you.
As Thomas Ronhart dominates. Portimao, he picks up a very, very comfortable win. And Pedrinho's got a 3-second time penalty, but we're not close enough to... not even close enough for the fucking penalty, man. Pick up the point. So, yeah, unfortunately, race over for us here. Alt strat just doesn't work here. Tried it. Now, the alt strat didn't work. There was potential for it to work. We got the fastest lap out of the top 14 from what I can tell, and the pace was there. I just think there's two key factors here. My teammate this race, I think, cost me a lot of time, battling the lap 1 stuff, and also on the softs, just defending way too hard. And, also I'd say the soft runners on the first stint, they pit around lap 10, which is about 2 or 3 laps earlier than what you'd normally pit. And I think had they stayed in the DRS train for another 2 or 3 more laps and we'd stuck with them, they wouldn't have gained as much, pitting earlier for the mediums, and I think it would have been a lot closer on track. But that's where the race kind of broke away a little bit, and we weren't able to make up the difference on the softs. Having said that, decent race, decent recovery, P14 to P8, no penalties, just 1 warning in this race, and overall pretty clean performance. So yeah, we'll take that. We move to the next one, round 2 at Silverstone. Not one of my best tracks, but we'll try and give it our best shot and see what happens. Either way, hopefully you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like, subscribe for more daily F1 content as we're on the road to 100k. And yeah, hopefully you guys tune in next time. There is a race tonight, twitch.tv/Tom7HD, link down below. We're racing at Silverstone. Tune in, check it out, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.